Good morning students. This is a video for the students of class 8, subject science, chapter number 12, that is friction. It is your lecture number 5. This is your summary lecture. So we will summarize the complete chapter in this lecture. So students, you might have seen a driver of a car or a truck slowing down the vehicle at a traffic signal, right? And you also slow down your bicycle whenever needed by applying brakes. So have you ever thought why a vehicle slows down when brakes are applied? And not only the vehicles, any object which is moving over the surface of another object slows down when no external force is applied on it, right? If no external force is applied on the object, then it slows down. This is the fact. So have you ever thought that why do we slip when we step on a banana peel? And similarly, why is it difficult to walk on a smooth and wet floor? So the answer to all these questions is related to friction. Okay, the answer to all these questions is related to friction. So let's know about friction. Let's study about the friction. So what is friction or frictional force? Friction can be defined as the force that opposes the motion of an object. Means friction is a force that opposes the motion of an object or prevent the object to be moving. And this frictional force always arises due to contact between two surfaces. Okay, it always arises due to contact between two surfaces. Let's consider an example. As we know, a ball stops after covering some distance. And it stops because the motion of the ball is opposed by the force of friction. Okay, the motion of the ball is opposed by the force of friction which is exerted by the ground on the ball. It means a ball stops because of frictional force which is exerted by the ground on the ball as shown in this picture. One more important point about friction is it always acts in a direction opposite to a moving object. Okay, friction always acts in a direction opposite to a moving object and tends to stop it from moving. Means it prevents the object from moving. For example, if you push the box towards right direction, then the frictional force, the force of friction acts in the left direction. Okay, means the frictional force always acts in a direction opposite to a moving object or opposing. Now we will talk about an interesting phenomena related to friction. So, we all know that in winters when we rub our hands get warm. Means we often rub our hands together to warm them. But why it happens? It happens because of friction. Friction is caused by rubbing your hands together which produces heat. Okay. Friction caused by rubbing your hands together, which produces heat. Thus, we can conclude that friction is a force that opposes motion. And second thing is, friction is a force that produces heat. Okay. Friction is a force that opposes motion and produces heat. Okay. So this is all about friction. Now the question is how the friction is introduced. What is the cause of friction? So friction is caused by the irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. No surface is completely smooth. Even the surface which is appear to be very smooth has some minute irregularities. So friction is caused by the irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. Factors on which force of friction depends. Now I am going to explain that what are the factors on which force of friction depends. So the first factor is nature of surface. Okay. First factor is nature of surface. Friction is very less between two smooth surfaces. Means if the surfaces are smooth, then friction is very less. And if the surfaces are rough, then friction is more. Means friction is more between two rough surfaces. And for proving this, already done the activities in the previous lecture, right? And the second factor is weight of the body. How the force of friction depends on weight of the body? How the frictional force depends on weight of the body? So the force of friction is directly proportional to weight of the body which moves. Directly proportional means if weight of the body increases, then force of friction also increases. Okay. Means if weight increases, then force of friction also increases. So the force of friction is directly proportional to the weight of the body which moves. These are the two factors on which frictional force depends. And remember one thing, the force of friction does not depend upon the area of surface. Okay. Now our next topic is types of friction. And we will study the various types of friction. Friction is of three types as shown in the flow chart. First is static friction. Second is sliding friction. And third is rolling friction. Okay. There are three types of friction. First is static friction. Second is sliding friction. And third is rolling friction. So let us know about these three types of friction one by one. So what is static friction? Static friction exists between those two bodies which are relatively at rest. Even though an external force is acting on them. Means we apply the force on two bodies, and even after applying force, the two bodies remains at rest. Okay. And this happens because of static friction. The force required to overcome friction at the instant an object starts moving from rest. Means initially the object is at rest, and at the instant when the object starts moving, some force is required. Why? To overcome friction. And the amount of force which is required to overcome friction is a measure of static friction. Okay. For example, we all know that it's not easier to move a heavy box from one place to another place. When you apply force to move a heavy box, a force is required, right? A force is required to overcome friction so that you can start moving from rest. And the maximum force of friction that can be generated between two static surfaces. Okay, the force of friction generated between two static surfaces means these two surfaces are at rest, and this force of friction which is generated between two static surfaces is called static friction. Okay, so this is all about static friction. Next type of friction is sliding friction. Now, what is sliding friction? It is the opposing force that comes into play when one body slides over the surface of another body. Means this sliding friction comes into play when one body slides over the surface of another body. And this sliding friction is slightly smaller than the static friction. We have already learnt about the static friction, and if we compare these two types of friction, then remember this sliding friction is slightly smaller than the static friction. Sliding friction is always smaller than the static friction. That's why, because of this reason, it is easier to move the box which is already in motion, right? On the other hand, we can also say the force required to keep the object moving with the same speed is a measure of sliding friction. It means the force needed to keep the object moving with the same speed is a measure of sliding friction. Okay, so this is all about sliding friction. Next type of friction is rolling friction. The opposing force which comes into play when one body rolls over the surface of another body. Means this type of frictional force or this opposing force comes into play when one body rolls over the surface of another body. For example, roller skates have wheels that help in moving very fast. The wheels of the skate experience rolling friction while moving. Means in between the wheels and the surface of ground there is a rolling friction. And always remember that rolling friction is always less than sliding friction. Okay, rolling friction is always less than sliding friction. Now our next topic is fluid friction. But first of all, what are fluids? Liquids and gases are called fluids, like water and air. They are fluids. And all fluids exerts a force of friction on objects that move through them. Okay, all fluids exerts a force of friction on objects that move through them, and this force of friction exerted by fluids is called fluid friction. It means we can say the fluid friction is nothing but a force of friction exerted by fluids. The frictional force exerted by fluids is also called drag. Means it is the another name of fluid friction. Okay. And this fluid friction is also called drag. The frictional force on an object depends on shape, material and speed of the object moving through them. Means this fluid friction depends on shape, material and speed of the object moving through them. For example, the objects that have a streamlined shape experience lesser friction, and it is for this reason that boats, ships and aeroplanes are streamlined. The streamlined shape minimize this fluid friction. Aeroplanes, rockets and missiles have a streamlined shape to move in the air easily. Now I am going to explain the advantages of friction, that how the frictional force is helpful for us. So the first advantage is we are able to walk on the ground due to friction. This is the first advantage, that we are able to walk on the ground due to friction. How? Because the friction exists between our feet and the ground. Suppose this is a ground. Okay, this is a surface of ground and a man is standing on this surface. Now these men are able to walk on the ground due to friction that exists between the feet and this surface. Here the friction is exist between the feet of the person and the surface of the ground. So the first advantage is we are able to walk on the ground due to friction that exists between our feet and the ground. You must have observed that you have walked carefully on a marble floor, right? Why? Because friction is very less on smooth surfaces. Friction is very less on smooth surfaces, right? And friction is large on rough surfaces. So that's why it is difficult to walk on a smooth surface, right? Because friction is very less on smooth surfaces like ice floor, and there are more chances to slip while walking on them. So the first advantage of friction is we are able to walk on the ground due to friction. Second advantage is we are able to write on a paper due to friction. Means we are able to write on a paper with pen or pencil due to friction. Like this is my pen, and when I start writing with pen on this paper, then there is a friction on the tip of this pen. This is the tip of the pen, and this paper. There is a friction between this tip of the pen and the paper. So the second advantage is we are able to write on a paper with pen or pencil due to friction which exists between the tip of the pen or pencil and the paper. So this is the second advantage. Third advantage is vehicles slows down or stops due to friction. Okay, means all the vehicle slows down or stops due to friction. The friction is exist between the wheel of the vehicles and the surface of the ground. Okay, if an object is moving, then it would never stop if there were no friction. Means all the moving object stops or slows down only because of friction, and moving object can never stop, it would never stop if there were no friction. So the third advantage is all the vehicles slows down or stops due to friction. Fourth advantage is a matchstick catches fire due to friction. As we all know that the friction also produces heat, right? So this heat is used to rise the temperature of the matchstick head and the rough surface of a matchbox. Now look here, this is the rough surface of a matchbox and this is a matchstick. So when I rub this matchstick head against this rough surface, then the force of friction introduced in between them and the matchstick catches fire when it is rubbed against this rough surface of a matchbox, because here the force of friction rises the temperature of the matchstick head and it catches fire. So the fourth advantage is a matchstick catches fire due to friction. It is also an application of friction because we all know the friction also produces heat. Okay, so the fourth advantage is a matchstick catches fire due to friction. Next advantage is we can hold things due to friction. Means we can hold all the things only because of friction. Like look here, I am holding this pen. I can hold this pen only because of friction. Means you can hold any object. For example, you can hold your notebook, your pen or any other thing only because of friction. So this is also advantage that by the friction we can hold all the things. Okay, so the fifth advantage is we can hold things due to friction, and friction here the friction is exist between the pen and the hand. Okay, so we can hold things due to friction. So these are some advantages of friction, that how the friction is helpful in our daily life. Friction has some disadvantages also. Now I am going to explain that how the friction is harmful for us and what are the disadvantages of friction. Okay, so the first disadvantage is it causes damage to machines. Okay, the first disadvantage is friction causes damage to machine. How? Because the heat generated by friction rises the temperature of the machine and damages it, because we all know the friction produces heat, and the heat which is generated by friction rises the temperature of the machine and damages it. So this is the first disadvantage of friction, that it causes damage to machine. And second disadvantage is it causes wear and tear. What does it mean? Friction causes wear and tear. For example, the soles of the shoes and the tires of the vehicles wear out gradually when used for a long time. Right? The soles of the shoes and tires of the vehicles wear out when used for a long time. They wear out because of friction. So the second disadvantage is friction causes wear and tear. This is the disadvantage of friction. Now the third disadvantage is wastage of energy. Friction also causes wastage of energy. Friction causes wastage of energy. A lot of energy is wasted because objects in contact require more force to overcome friction. I am repeating, because objects in contact require more force to overcome friction between their rubbing surfaces, and by this a lot of energy is wasted. Okay, so the third disadvantage is wastage of energies. So these are some disadvantages of friction. So in this way we came to know that friction is advantageous for us as well as it is harmful for us. Okay, that's why it is called necessary evil. Our next topic is ways to increase friction. So students, we can increase the friction by many ways. Okay, so the friction can be increased by increasing the roughness of surfaces. This is the first way by which we can increase friction. Okay, the friction can be increased by increasing the roughness of surface. Suppose if we have a surface and if we increase the roughness on that surface, then friction will be increased, because we know that friction is large on a rough surface and less on a smooth surface. So if we make a surface rough, then we can increase the friction. So this is the first way by which we can increase friction. And the second way is by drying the surfaces. Okay, by drying the surfaces. Drying the surface is another way of increasing friction. And how can you dry the surface? By using sand, okay, and gravel. So sand and gravel are thrown on a slippery ground during the rainy season to increase friction. Okay, for example, sand and gravel are thrown on a slippery ground during the rainy season to increase friction. So this is the another way by which you can increase friction. Okay, so by drying the surfaces we can increase friction. Another method to increase friction is the use of brake pads. The use of brake pads is another method for increasing friction. The brake pads in a brake system of a bicycle do not touch the wheels until you press the brakes. And once the brakes are pressed, the friction is increased and the bicycle slows down. So, if we use brake pads in a bicycle, then we can increase friction. So, these are some ways by which we can increase friction. First is by increasing the roughness of surfaces. Second is by drying the surfaces. And third is by using of brake pads. Okay, so these are some ways to increase friction. Now we will discuss that how can we reduce friction. By what ways the friction can be reduced. Friction is sometimes undesirable and it becomes necessary to minimize it. Okay, so there are many ways to reduce friction. The first way is by lubricating the surface. The first way is by lubricating the surface. It is one of the most common methods to reduce friction. Lubricants like oil and grease. Oil and grease. Lubricants like oil and grease are applied on the moving parts of the machines. Right? It applied on the moving parts of the machine so that the movement of different parts of the machine becomes smooth. So the first way to reduce friction is by lubricating the surface. Okay? By lubricating the surface, we can reduce friction. And what are lubricants? Like oil and grease. Oil and grease are called lubricants. Second way is by polishing the surface. Means friction can be reduced by polishing the surface. If we polish any surface, then the surface becomes smooth and friction will be less on a smooth surface. When a surface is polished, the irregularities of the surface is covered and making it smooth, and thus friction reduces. Okay, so this is the another way to reduce friction. By polishing the surface, we can reduce friction. Third way is by using wheels and ball bearings. Okay, this is the third way. By using wheels and ball bearing. Ball bearings and wheels reduce friction by converting sliding friction into rolling friction. Okay, it converts sliding friction into rolling friction. So the ball bearings and wheels reduce friction by converting sliding friction into rolling friction. This helps to reduce friction between the two surfaces in contact and also helps to save energy. It is for this reason that wheels are fitted under suitcases. Okay, we know that the wheels are fitted under suitcases to reduce friction. So this is the another way to reduce friction. Next way is by streamlining the shape of an object. Means we can reduce friction by streamlining the shape of an object. Okay. Aeroplanes, boats and other vehicles are made streamlined in shape. Streamlined shape means in this way. Broader at the middle and narrow at the front and the back, like the fish. Okay, this is a streamlined shape. So the aeroplanes, boats and other vehicles are made streamlined in shape to reduce the friction. Okay, to reduce the friction so that the aeroplanes, boats can move easily. So we can reduce friction by streamlining the shape of an object. So these are some ways by which we can reduce friction. Okay. So students, this is your homework. Revise all the topics and solve assignment number 1. Your assignment have been uploaded on EdQuark site. Okay. So this ends for today's lecture. Thank you.